Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Friday morning's messages of love from above from a beautiful, cloudy Colorado Springs, Colorado. Again, I think the third week, maybe the fourth week in a row, we're going to have snow expected today on Fridays. So I'm excited. I love snow. So welcome, welcome. Hopefully, everyone had an amazing week and a great Valentine's Day. Happy belated Valentine's Day to everyone. Let me just get my desktop all set up here and we will get into it. Good to see everybody. And just get this all arranged here. All right. That looks good. Good enough where I can see it. And I think we are good. Yep, confirmed that we're live. All right. So if you're new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome, welcome. We've got a great group of people with huge hearts, great senses of humor, great combo. So glad to have you here to understand how everything works. You can check out the description box of the video. We just go down in order, first come, first serve, down the chat. The chat is the list. If anyone makes a donation, I do honor that energy exchange. I step outside of the free readings, dive deeper into those, and then I return back and continue to go down those readings. How to make a donation and all that is in the description box of the video. Excuse me. And before we get started, I do love to send love out to the world. It's healing for our mind, our body, our spirit, our physical world. So if you'd like to join me in doing that, of course, I more than welcome that. When one of us, excuse me, sends love out to the world, it can transform 1 million people having a lower vibrational experience. And so when we join together to do it, it doesn't just add it together, it actually multiplies it. So if you want to join me, whether you're watching live or on replay, we can join together outside of space and time and multiply that together. So I'm going to take a big deep breath and come back to right here, right now, and let everything else go. And then as I hit the singing bowl, we let that love come down, fill us up, and overflow out to the world. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. I'm just going to let it continue to sing in the background there. And so let us just talk about a couple of things before we get into the readings. First of all, if you didn't catch the Valentine's Day pick a card and want to know what Spirit wants you to know about love right now, here is the link to that pick a card. And of course, love is in the air. It's the month of love, right? Extra, extra love during February. And I do have a half off of my relationship readings. I just introduced these, though they're half off until the end of this month. So be sure to check that out if you're interested. I have 6 different types of relationship readings, all developed based on a lot of the questions that you all asked me throughout the year or a year and a half or so since I've been doing lives. And then also, because of you, I have reached 2,000 plus subscribers. A big, big thank you. So I do have a video talking about a giveaway, which I will pull winners on leap year day. I guess it's the February 29th. We have an extra day this month. So February 29th, I will pull winners and make an announcement. The video tells you how you can get into that drawing and how many winners I choose depends on how many people get into the drawing. So there's unlimited, well, maybe there's limitations on my capacity to do. If there was a million people that did it, I might have a little bit of a tough time getting all those done. All right. And then we put out a new podcast. I started a new podcast, From Chaos to Cozy. Here is the link to the episode number 1, where we talk about From Here to There, which is talking about cozy from whence we come and the chaos to where we come down to and how we head back to cozy during this lifetime. And if you are, I have a couple of YouTube channel members here. So shout out to Kachika, Johanna, Shalia. You'll see their names in green with their badges here. So thank you guys so much for being YouTube members. And my YouTube members, all levels, get advanced access to the future episodes. I usually record 1 or 2 in advance. I'm trying to do more for my podcast, but also for all of my pick a card readings. So if you're a Zen Cricket member or a Praying Mantis member, Zen Cricket's $2.99 a month, and the Praying Mantis is $7.99 a month. You get advanced access to all of those in advance. Plus, on Wednesdays, I have a cozy chat for an hour for all my channel members, where we talk about the podcast. We talk about our experiences. I answer questions about your chaos, and we consult spirit on how we can use tools to convert our chaos to more cozy of that. If you're at the Praying Mantis level, in addition to all of that, you get a Q&A on Thursday nights for 2 hours, as well as after each one of these sessions over the weekend. We have an extra hour after we're done, where we're learning things. We're doing beautiful card readings, past life readings, oracle readings, any of those things. So if you're interested, all that information's in the description box of the video. And each month, YouTube has started giving us YouTube channel owners that have memberships, excuse me, 10 free lower level. I'm so sorry. It's just choking me up. It's just so generous of them. I'm just kidding. But 10 free Zen Cricket memberships. It's like they allow us to give a month trial away. And so on the first of the month, I get 10 more. I already gave away the 10 for this month. But all you have to do is make sure that your gift membership setting is set to on. And how you do that is, if you see the little dollar bill at the bottom of the chat, you click on that, you'll get a little menu. One will say memberships. You click on that, and it will bring up a little box with 3 little dots. There's a menu. I know it's a little involved, but you click on that, and then it says membership gifting, like settings. And when you click on there, another little box pops up with a little lever, and you just switch it from off to on. And then when I'll do it like the first Saturday of the month, of the new month. During the morning session, I'll give away 5. During the evening session, I'll give away 5. Since I have international members, it just I feel like it's fair to give 5 and 5, so everyone has a chance at them. But YouTube decides, I don't, and Spirit, of course. And so as long as you have that set, then you have a chance at winning 5. You supposed to be those who are more active on the channel and watching and communicating and interacting, but it's YouTube's algorithm. So you get an email and then notification on YouTube too, that you are a winner. So be sure to do that. That's the blah, 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 everybody. So I like to make sure you're aware of things that can be given away. Also, this week, I just want to say a big Happy birthday to you, upcoming Pisces. We put out a pick a card for Pisces season. And for all you Pisces sun babies, there's a special 3-month bonus reading on there that will give you a 3-month forecast. And if you're an Aquarius, of course, we did that for Aquarians already, too. Let me just throw that out there. In case you were an Aquarius, you still have access, of course, to that. I'm so sorry. Of course, with it being overshadowed here by clouds, my pipes evidently are not as clear as I thought they were. I try to talk and sing and everything before, but there's something about I think I project more in my voice, and so I get a little more phlegmy. I do apologize. All right. Well, let's get into it. I do have a couple donations, so we'll jump to those first. So HTTPS, hello, hello. Thank you so much for your donation. Good to see you. Let's give that some love and a like there. And you would like to know anything the universe wants to show you. Absolutely. I am going to be using the Light Seers Tarot today. If you're interested in them, this is what the box looks like wherever you procure your cards. So let's take a look here and see anything that the universe wants to show you. All right. Wow. All right. Okay. So, well, I like this for you. You've got a lot of sixes coming in here, which shows a great flow. We'll start off with these three because you got 3 of the 6 of the minor arcana coming out all together. And so the one that jumped out at the very top first was the 6 of wands. The 6 of wands is a victory. It is you know, like a kudos kind of card too. You can see here if it'll focus. There's all these people down here below. It's all like transparent. These are all the people that are, the world. And this is what kind of a message from spirit is that this is, this interesting portion of, we are drawn to, of course, as children, to get praise from our parents. And so we look for praise and support, validation from the outside world. But at some point, we really go inward here, like this is, and there she's, looking upward to the spotlight, which is spirit. And in this case, it's spirit saying that they're proud of you. They've seen what you've done. And all these sixes are flow in that you're on the right path. You're headed towards, your the direction that your higher self has wanted you to go. So you're headed toward the mountain. We all take little off ramps but you're zeroed in on what you're wanting to do. And part of that comes in with the 6 of swords too, which the 6 of swords is that you've been letting go of things that no longer serve you, thoughts, beliefs, mindsets, and you are moving forward in a new direction. The 6 of swords can represent travel across water, but also like change in the outside world. Because, of course, when we start changing our mindsets, our emotions, it starts making its way to the outside world too. So there definitely is this change of things in the outside world. And I'll talk more about that in a sec here. You have the 6 of Pentacles too, which I feel with the 6 of Pentacles, you really have been doing a lot of inner work with balancing what you feel you deserve. And, we all go through that. Inner children have so much given to them about this out of balance, giving and receiving. It takes us time. We don't overnight bring it, where we have been feeling I have to give 1,000 to deserve 1 back. We'll bring it down to like 100 to 1, 10 to 1, 1 to 1. We'll eventually whittle it down where we're like, wow. And then these force fields drop and these things come into our life. And I feel like you've been working on this with the 6 of Pentacles, and so the mindsets have been changing. It's changing how you're allowing yourself to receive in the outside world, what you're wanting in your life. You've been really whittling it down. because you do have the world card here. And so the world card is ending of major cycles and beginning of new adventures. And so I just feel like, again, another victory card too, like the Six of Wands, but it's like you've reached stages and you've reached an important stage in your life where you're making some significant transformations and changes. The energy on the bottom of the deck, you've got the King of Cups. So balancing of the heart and the mind coming in. And I like that for you. But you also have the Eight of Cups on the bottom too, which is the walking away. Let me see if I can do this where I can see it better here. There we go. So the Eight of Cups is like walking away from emotions and even relationships that don't serve you anymore. You can even see she's like doing a little ritual of, burning something in the little singing bowl and allowing those things to fall away. So there is this energy of realizing, of the emotions that don't serve you, like we were talking about before, that inner child work and the flowing away, the validation of that from spirit, that you have done so much. It may not seem like you have, but if you look back just a year ago, you're like, wow, no, I've done a lot of stuff. And I feel like you recognize that, but that you've done some, but I don't feel like you recognize how much you've transformed and how much you have changed through all of that. Because with all of this, the Eight of Cups is also that you're letting go of relationships and interactions with people that don't serve you anymore. So you've done this emotional change, and now you're realizing these relationships, and it could be best friends, it could be friends, family, it could be relationship oriented too, that you're realizing that you have given 70, 80, 90% of the emotional energy in, only to get consistently 10, 20, and 30% back. Relationships are give and take. So there's some days we can't give as much as we um, normally can, and maybe we can only give 30% one day, the other person gives 70. But it's a give and take. But if we're always giving 80% and they're always only giving 20, then we're realizing that where we're investing this energy, is into a black hole, right? And so this Eight of Cups, the King of Cups, all of that comes into play because you have the Two of Cups here too. I'm so sorry. Hold on just a second. This frog is being stubborn. Or this is just choking me up so deeply. I don't know. But the Two of Cups is about important relationships, realizing relationships, but it's mainly overall emotional choice that's coming in. And so you're being faced with a lot of emotional choices that are happening. And it is time for you to really sit back, like with that King of Cups, balance the mind with the higher heart and see what relationships you are, willing to realize I've done all I can with them. I'm going to pull back a little bit. And I'm going to see about, what falls away and which ones I'm ready to let go of. And it's okay to do all that. The big one with the Two of Cups, though, is your relationship with your higher self, where you're really joining together with your higher self and your spiritual posse in deeper ways. And they are definitely um, encouraging that and inviting that, because that also continues to transform your life. So hopefully that brings some clarity that you're looking for right now. But just taking a moment at a time emotionally. Take some time alone, stepping back and looking at those things. So I love that for you, and that's what they got for you right now. HTTPS. You are very welcome, and thank you so much for your donation. All right. You ever have like that little clog in your pipeline down here that just doesn't want to go away? So biggest apologies. Thank you for your patience with my raspy, rattly voice. So thank you again, HTTPS. All right. And then Mia Mia, hello, hello. Thank you for your donation. Let's give that some love and a like there. Oops. There it goes. Good to see you, Mia Mia. Hello, hello. Happy Friday to you. And you'd like to ask, will a job opportunity come from Gio Mario if you contact him after such a long time? He was a possible work contact years ago, which he gave you advice to build your portfolio. You were wondering if writing him now could have a great opportunity to come in from him since he's in the industry. All right, well, let's take a look here and see what Spirit would like you to know. Would it be beneficial for you to contact G and Mario? And anything else they want you to know here. Okay. All right. And what do we got down here? All right. You know, the overall energy, I know when I start off like that, people go, uh-oh, you know. But you got the moon card here, which is there's a lot of hidden and unseen things below the surface for you regarding career, regarding job opportunity. You know, the first card that came up is the Three of Swords, which is the expectations equal disappointment card. So I don't feel like they will give you what you're looking for. But there's other cards which are great because right after that, you got the Ace of Wands, which is your power, stepping into your power, your energy that results in the Ten of Pentacles, which is joy, you know, and the fullness of life that's kicking in here too. So, you know, you've got this. I feel like there's this change of direction that you go in here. And even though you know, they have great connections in the industry, I feel like you'd be held back from that they wouldn't have contact because I feel like you're supposed to go a different direction. That's there's not like they're supposed to's, but I feel like your soul wants to take you in a different direction because, and this is like with the moon card coming in, the mystery is unfolding. You've got the world card, you know, major ending of cycles, beginning of new adventures, and the King of Wands, which represents your higher self, but also you stepping in with that Ace of Wands and choosing a direction that you want to go in, but it's getting out of your head and being true to your authentic self. Because the other two cards that popped up were the Five of Swords, which is your battle between your head and your heart coming in there. Can see the crow on your shoulder going gak, 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 trying to get your attention. and and the Three of Pentacles, which is about being true to your authentic self and not being drawn off into doing something that you feel you're supposed to do, right? Like, well, this is what people would think is my talent or what I, you know, it feels secure, blah, blah, blah. But there's something deeper with this moon card. I just feel like you have something deep in your heart that you're wanting to do and where you're wanting to head. And this is where spirit and your guides are wanting you to focus your energy because it's like everything else is a delay. These going this other direction is holding you back from being true to your authentic self and impacting the world in the way in which you want to impact it with the love that you have inside of you. So I feel like here, Mia Mia, it's you know, they're like the industry that you're wanting to be in maybe isn't the one your heart wants to be in. It may be the one that your mind, you know, has been thinking that this is like what I'm supposed to do. But I feel like there's some deep, you know, again, the moon card, some deep stuff below the surface that is more in tune with what you're wanting to do and where you're wanting to go. So I would say that, reaching out to G and Mario, that they wouldn't have that. Um, you're so confused. Something that, and I don't know if you've checked it out yet. I have it over here somewhere. Here it is. There's a great book, Discover Your Dharma by Sahara Rose. And even if you go to her website, which is iamsahararose.com, she's got a couple free quizzes on there. One under the, what is it, under the purpose tab, there's like a Dharma archetype quiz, which gives you an idea of how you look at, sharing with the world. It gives you like how, what kind of, are you a visionary? Are you a teacher? Are you an artist? Are you an entrepreneur? It'll show you by answering just a handful of questions. Well, not a handful, maybe like 3 handfuls of questions. It helps you, and it gives you number 1 and number 2. And then also under the Ayurveda tab, there's a dosha quiz, which talks about your energy. And just those 2 things alone were like, wow, it helped me clarify that I also want to be a teacher in addition to what I do with these cards. That's what really gave me the push to begin my podcast, because I'm wanting to teach and share in a different way. And I feel like that'll help you too. And then if it resonates with you, highly recommend the book too. She gives you beautiful ways of looking at life and career and life purpose, and asks some great questions to help get clarity for you too. So if that resonates, of course, you don't have to purchase a book. I'm not affiliated with her in any way. It was just an amazing book we read in our Praying Mantis memberships. All right, but that is what they have for you, Mia. You are very welcome, and thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. All right, so let us dive into the free readings. Now, I think that's all of my donations. So if anyone wants to bring theirs to the top, you could be next. Otherwise, we will begin at the top and work our way down the free readings. So, Mina Hill, hello, hello. So what's important that you need to know about your future spouse? All right, let's see here. So what is it that Spirit wants you to know that's important to know about your future spouse? Let's take a look here. All right. So interesting that you've got this connection with them that goes beyond things. The 3 of Cups represents like joy and celebration and a variety of things, but it's a special card that represents spirit and like a spirit guide, our spiritual posse, etc. And it's interesting because what came through immediately, the 6 of Swords, the 6 of Cups is past life connections. But when I saw this with the 6 of Swords and this together, something you need to know is that in a past life, each of you were spirit guides for the other in their life. So you're going to have this mental connection with the 6 of Swords that's just different. And that's the way they're saying it, is it's going to be so different that it's going to be one of the ways that you recognize, like, oh my gosh, this is my future spouse, because you have such this strong mental tie that it just goes beyond like this lifetime. You don't know them yet, and when you meet them and you guys are talking, you're just like, you get it where they're coming from. You even have such a strong mental connection. It's almost like you can read each other's minds in a way. Like you say, like it's going to be crazy saying the same things or coming up with the same ideas at the same time. You have such a connection with them that literally you finish each other's sentences. It's funny. I don't know if you saw Frozen, But what they showed me in my head was when they were like, "Oh my god," and we finished each other's, and the other person says, "Sandwiches." It's supposed to be sentences, but they say sandwiches. And it's just funny. I feel like it's you guys get it, like movie references, music references. You just have such a strong connection that people are just like, "You guys are weird." And it's a beautiful weird though. So I like that for you, Minnie Hill. And that's what they have for you. So that's one more little tidbit about your future spouse. So many blessings to you. I love it. All right. And then Dollface Diva, you are up next. And you want a general for next week. Let's see. What does Spirit want you to know about next week? Okay. Okay. So these two here. So I'm just going to take another sip here. All right. Wow. So you have a beautiful emotional transformation next week. You have the Seven of Cups, which can be emotional confusion, but I feel like it's a lot of emotional choices to make. And the Three of Cups is joy, celebration, connection to the higher realms. And I feel like what Spirit wants you to know is that there's a lot of great opportunities for you to realize your kind of your power of emotional choice next week, that your week will be so different, of course, if in each of these emotional um and when I feel like you're being a emotional scientist next week, and it's like you have these opportunities, these experiments that come up of, well, this is something that you normally would respond this way emotionally, but you have an opportunity and you have like this momentary pause that your soul's giving you to go, all right, do you want to continue to choose that, or do you want to choose joy and laugh at this instead? And I feel like this week you have a great opportunity to laugh and have joy around a lot of things that would have just taken you down a different path, right, with a different result. And I feel like when you're just like, oh well, ha ha ha, even if it's a fake laugh in the beginning, I feel like it changes things. And it does change the energy and the outcome for your week. So it's a big, beautiful week of being an emotional scientist, and just, you know, try to take a deep breath before every emotional decision. And I don't feel like these are like huge, significant things. I feel like you're experimenting and you're just starting at a minor level with things, not like huge things that are happening. So that's good, right? But that's what's coming in. Super emotional scientist, Dollface Diva for you next week. So enjoy that. Many blessings to you. A good heads up. I love it for you though, because I don't feel like you blow up any emotional laboratories. I feel like you're kind of creating a habit of choosing joy, and you're like, I like this feeling better than feeling, pissed off and angry and vengeful. You're like, you know what, I'm gonna laugh it off, going, oh well, bah, ha, ha, so it's funny. So that's what they've got for you, Diva. Many blessings to you. So sorry, excuse me. All right. So Dijona, you are up next. So a general reading for you. Let's see, what does Spirit wants you to know here about your life in the moment? All right, look at you. So you got the Hermit and the Queen of Wands coming in. These are two powerful cards because the Hermit card is about you stepping away and connecting with your higher self, stepping into your power, understanding who you are. I'm not sure why this is not focusing too well today, but we've got you're up here with your higher self, with your energy that's up there. See, there we go. And so your the lantern's down below. You can see it down there. So your inner light is shining, and the Queen of Wands too has this energy. You can see it flowing from her hand here. And so there is this powerful message that's coming in about stepping into your power, realizing the connection that you have with spirit, both uh, spiritual energy, but also empathically and from your heart. You know things, you feel things. And I love that they're having you kind of step back, reflect on stuff, and then take action. Step back, take time with yourself, and then step out and take action. It's like this beautiful flow of connect with spirit. If you don't know what to do next, you step away, you connect with spirit. They give you great, clear messages in the outside world. Then you step forward again, make a decision until you get to a point where you're not sure what to do next. And you just kind of, it's beautiful flow that's happening. And you're growing your relationship with spirit through all of this too. So, and they're giving you the guidance with the lantern on your path, but you have to ask for it. That's a big, huge thing is that before we come down here, I call it a honey-do list. We give spirit, go, here, honey, here's your honey-do list. This is what I'd like to experience when I go down there. So we come down here, a piece of ourself comes down here anyway, and they're working on the to-do list. They're having things unfold, but they're multitaskers. They're also surrounding us at all times, just waiting for us to ask for help, for any guidance, assistance, clarity, signs, synchronicities, whatever. And sometimes they're behind, they'll go uh, to remind us that they're there. And that's by seeing repeating numbers or synchronicities in the outside world. They'll make things obvious to go, oh, that's right. There's more to this world than this world. 'Cause sometimes we get so caught up in the play that we're in, this character that we're playing, that we forget. But they remind us, because they don't meddle in our life, or because they honor our free will and our power of choice. And we want to learn some things when we come down here, but they will remind us that they're there, especially if they know something's coming up that we need to know about, that or that we could know about, that will make our life a little easier. They'll just go, we're here if you need anything, wink wink, nudge nudge, and then we're like, oh hey, yeah, so can you tell me about, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad you asked, blah blah blah. And you're like, oh my gosh, I will do this instead, or I'm going to alter my course a little bit, thank you for that. But so I feel like this is a big indication for you in your life right now. Enjoy that ebb and flow. You can trust them and build that trust and that communication with spirit, and they're there for you. You just have to ask. So I like that for you, Dijona, and that's what they have for you right now. So many, many blessings to you. All right, and we'll continue moving down the list here. So we got Blessed One. You are up next. So what does spirit need you to know? So what would they like you to know right now? We don't. It's not so much pressure as need to or should or have to. It's more like you could know this, and it could make your life easier, as we were just talking about with Dijona. It's like you can know this, but it doesn't. It doesn't um, mean you have to do anything, of course. But well, this is more informational. They would just want you to know that there's things that are unfolding in your life. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. I mean, look at the interpretation of this one. They're not even on their horse. They're walking their horse, walking through the grass, watching the grass grow, taking their good old time. And that might be how life feels right now, that you feel like, why is it going so slow? Why is everything taking forever to happen? Well, it's happening on purpose, for a purpose, and that's what they're wanting you to know right now. Because this Eight of Swords, see how they're looking at their reflection in the mirror? They're looking at their thoughts and their beliefs and their mindsets, and looking at what of their own beliefs have made them feel blinded and bound and trapped, like the person in the mirror. So there's a lot of mirrors being shown you in your life through other people. If you have people who are just irritating you, well, they're a mirror for you, showing you little pieces of things that irritate you or that you fear on the inside. Also, the amazing things you're seeing in people, realize that you can't recognize it in someone else unless you recognize it somehow inside of yourself. So these beautiful mirrors are giving you the opportunity to let go and flow out of these thoughts, these beliefs, these mindsets that don't serve you anymore. These will be the mindsets that made you feel limited, small, powerless, unworthy, all those delicious things we come down here to experience, and it does serve us at a time, but they no longer serve you. So they've done their purpose. You're ready to let go of them. You're ready to transform. And when that happens, when we're in this period of letting things go, that's when things slow down. That's when spirit will just bring our movie that we're watching down to frame. Because when we have these thoughts of beliefs of lower self worth and limitedness and powerlessness, we also draw in those experiences, those people, that energy in. And when spirit slows it down, we don't draw on those things as fast. And as we're letting go of these thoughts and these beliefs and these mindsets, our love energy is increasing. It's going higher in vibration to where eventually we're such a different vibrational level than those old things that we used to attract. They fall away. We don't start drawing those. We start drawing in higher vibrational things. And a side benefit of that is things start to speed up again. The movie starts to play at regular speed, and then the higher vibrational things are drawn to us, relationships, people, situations, instead of what we used to draw in. So I feel like they're letting you know the slowness of things and the releasing of things that you're doing, it's perfect. You're letting things go. The stuff that's bubbling up and the irritating things that are triggering and they're bringing to our face, we're like, all right, I see it, because you cannot not see it. It's like I don't know why they just showed me a starfish plastered across our face going, all right, you can't go anywhere until you deal with me. All right, I'm going to look at you. Fine. And then when you peel them off and throw them into the ocean, the beautiful ocean of higher vibrational love, then we are able to, speed things up too. So I love that. They're being very interesting today. But that's what they have for you, Blessed One. So hopefully that resonates for you, and many blessings to you. All right. And then New Love, you are up next. So hello, hello. You're very interested in Peter, but he's married. What should you know or do about this situation with him? All right, let's take a look here. Let's see, what does Spirit want you to know here? Nope, none of those. What else? All right. So 2 cards came flying out. Let's take a look here and see. Yeah, I mean, you've got this energy here with the 2 of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. So, the 2 of Pentacles is bringing this energy in about choice in the outside world, and about seeing your choices from a higher place. Queen of Wands is about your connection with spirit, trusting, looking at things from that higher perspective, asking them for clarity, asking them for guidance in your life. Whenever you have choices to make, they're like, yeah, definitely. If you ask them of your own free will, they will bring you guidance and bring you awareness. The message that they're bringing you right now has to do with, they're giving me situations where of friends in my life that have fallen for married men. Which, one thing to recognize, they're kind of showing you. So there's 2 things to look at here. On one hand, you can look at and kind of step away and go, why am I attracted to someone who's unavailable? And why is that important? And it is. We can be attracted to unavailable people because we fear being hurt. And so if we get attracted to someone who's with someone else, it's like that is safe for us, and it's interesting, right? It's like, huh, that's interesting. And then on the other hand, it's also, we have this thought that, wow, if I ended up with them, that I would be different. They would be with me the rest of my life, and da 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 da. But if someone would leave their spouse for someone else, uh, in the future, you would be playing the role of the spouse and there would be someone else. And so they're like, just realize that people's patterns of the outside world, the cycles that they're in would repeat. And that, there is this opportunity for you to look in and learn about yourself of why am I attracted to them. You have this Queen of Wands is very fiery, very passionate. There's this attraction, this physical attraction, but I feel like it's more of this that they're emotionally unavailable. Really look at that, and then this belief that, well, they would love me and treat me differently. No, just for a little bit, till you got married, and then they would end up still unhappy on the inside because that's what happens when someone leaves someone else. They think, well, this person I'm with doesn't make me happy. Maybe this one will. Well, that one didn't. Well, maybe this one will. Well, that one didn't. Maybe this one will. Well, that one didn't. Maybe this one will. And they're continuing to going on and on. And it's because if that person's unhappy, no one and nothing on the outside world can make them happy because we're that the only ones that can make ourselves happy by finding that love on the inside that we're looking for. So hopefully that brings some clarity in there for you, new love. I don't feel like there's this destiny. I don't feel like that type of energy is what's drawing you guys together. I feel like it's something that your spirit gang and your soul just wants you to look at those things, because you're not destined to be with them, but you are. This was destined for you to have this attraction and have this interest in this person, but you're just like, but it's just you're going to play the role of the person being cheated on or not chosen in the future because that's their pattern. And then you can look at the pattern you have in choosing emotionally unavailable people. And it's, of course, as a mirror for us, we can ask ourselves, how am I emotionally unavailable to myself? Ooh, wow, that's a deep question. But that's what they have for you, new love. So some good journaling and some work to really, look into that. So that is what they have for you. Many blessings to you. All right. All right. And I do have an additional donation. So really, Pi, hello, hello. Thank you for your sticker donation. I like your sticker. So you want to know, will you be with RR this weekend? All right, let's take a look here and see, based on current energies, what spirit wants you to know about being with RR this weekend. Let's take a look here. Ooh, okay. So let's take a look here and see what we've got. Wow, we definitely have possibilities here. I mean, you got the energy on the bottom of the deck, Two of Cups. So the overall energy has this possibility of coming together. And the reason why I say possibilities, there's a few things. So you've got, first of all, the power of choice card with the Chariot. So there's some choices that have to be made here. And the Five of Wands here does talk to here about a transformation of energy from focusing on lack and lower vibrational fear energies and focusing on higher vibration. Because when we do that, there is this, and if we focus on what we feel is missing or what we want, then we're telling the universe with our energy that I enjoy missing, I enjoy wanting. Now, enjoying wanting means we never get what we're wanting because we enjoy the feeling of wanting. And that's when we like, I want, I want, I want. The universe goes, oh, you enjoy the wanting piece of it. So it will hold it away from us because we're telling them to. But when we start having gratitude and joy, celebration, focusing on what we're grateful for, then that's when the energy changes and that power of choice comes in and it changes things. So the story we're putting to things, the emotions we're putting to things, the energy, and our physical actions, all of that tells an energetic story to the universe about what I want. So big important thing there. There's also with the 8 of cups about making sure we're having the emotional energy that is available. And that means letting go of emotions that don't serve us, letting go of relationships and people in our lives that no longer serve us too. So we could be having friends or family or even old lovers or whoever that we still have connection to, but we realize with the 8 of cups that we're investing energy into relationships that are like black holes and that are sucking the life force out. That's the emotional pool of energy we have are invested in emotions that don't serve us, but relationships that don't serve us as well. So it's like um, when we have this release of emotions that don't serve us, all that energy used to maintain it comes back to us, comes back into the emotional pool, as well as the other relationships. Maybe we're giving 80, 90%, you can back off to 50, you still get that 30 and 40% extra back. And maybe there's some like you're like, no, I'm going full to zero and I'm just not going to invest anymore. And if it drifts away, it drifts away. But if individuals realize it and they start reaching back, if you're like, all right, I will give 50%, but I'm not going to give no more than that. And relationships are give and take, but these are the ones that are consistently you're over giving to consistently, which comes down to the 6 of Pentacles. And the 6 of Pentacles is getting into these thoughts and these beliefs that you learned very young about overgiving and that you have to give 1,000 love coins before you deserve one back, right? And all this is learned when we're younger children. And so we have this tendency to be enablers in codependent relationships. No judgment. Probably everyone in this room is an enabler. We're all big, huge givers, right? It's us with huge hearts that give and give and give because we're taught I got to give this much to deserve this, right? So this is good for everyone, probably in this room. And if you haven't checked out these Take 10 with Zen playlist here, I'm just going to throw it down here for everyone. Episode 5 talks specifically about the 6 of Pentacles, but it gives us awareness and tools on how we can convert and bring it from 1,000 to 1 down to 1 to 1 to where love can flow in without us feeling like we have to give so much. And so there really is, some things. There's great possibilities. There's some stuff that you can do to help all that. The episode 4 talks about the energy I was talking about earlier too, about whatever we focus on grows. So both of those, and they're like 10 minutes or less episodes, but they both give you a tool on things that you can do to uh, help yourself really draw things into your life that are for your highest experience and in a joyful way. So I like that. Absolutely. So big possibilities definitely that are there, but there's some stuff that you can do on your side to help it along as well. All right. So that is what they have for you, really, Pie. And again, thank you for your donation and enjoy your adventure. All right. I think that was it for the donation. So we're scrolling back up. So Happy Pill, we had left off with you. And you would like a general reading. So let's see here. What does Spirit want you to know right now? All right. So I see here there's like emotional confusion that's kind of bubbling up right now in your life here. And what I like is that they've given you the kind of the key to transforming here. Because I feel like there's like this person in the 7 of Cups is like, well, should I choose that or should I choose that or should I choose that? I don't know what so confused. And the confusion comes in because there's some things that you're wanting to choose to please others, so you don't get rejected. Back to our childhood, praise and punishment. There's people we want the praise, we don't want to lose it. We also have people we don't want to upset and piss off because they are vengeful, punishing people. So there's some things I feel like I should do because it just is easier. There's stuff I want too. And that's where the confusion is coming in with the Seven of Cups. But the Three of Pentacles is about you choosing and being true to your authentic self. And that, that what helps with the choices that you need to make, the emotional choices that you're being faced with is, I don't want to be manipulated anymore by people about, doing things in life. And that's what I feel like a big piece of awareness around what manipulation is, the three stages of it, will show you how it's been done to you and how you've learned it from your parents and your family and your ancestors, like we all have, and how you have also been taught to use it and maybe have used it in the past. And it frees you on both sides because it frees you from not feeling like you have to give in, and then also that you don't have to use it, this tool that's been handed down from generation to generation. And so the three quick steps just to awareness around what manipulation is and what we're taught is when we don't get what we want, we act sad first. Oh, so upset, I'm sad, and I might even cry a little. Here's a tear for you, um, because I'm sad, and that's we learn that from, you know, you made mommy sad because you didn't do what mommy wanted you to do, and we'll learn that, right? It could have been from dad too, but dad usually teaches us the second one just because of, and this is generalities, stereotyping in a way, but individuals that have more of the nurturing side will use more of the sad Z's to start off. And if that doesn't work, then they go to the bully. They go to the anger, throwing things around, slamming things, yelling, even physical abuse on its extreme side to get you to do what I want you to do. Well, if the sad didn't work, well, then I'm going to get angry, rah, 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 rah. And if that doesn't work, then we go to depth con 3, which is what every kind of human fears is rejection. It's the cold shoulder. I'm not speaking to you. I'm hanging up on you. I'm walking away from you. I'm ostracizing you. And if that doesn't work, then they go back to stage 1, which is, I'm so sad. After I walked out and I ignored you, you didn't come after me. Rah, rah, rah. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And so we can see how we're taught that. And I feel like they're wanting you to know that right now, because part of what's drawing you to feel guilty or to not want to, have this stuff happen is because of that praise and punishment, the manipulation that's happened before. And it's rampant across the entire world. It's kind of a thing we're all taught to experience. But when we realize, one, that it's been done to us, we also realize, two, oh, how have I been doing that to people? And then we release ourselves and we're able to be true to our authentic self because we don't fear the praise and the punishment and the rejection. We look into that going, okay, I see what's going on. So hopefully that helps, Happy Pill. And I feel like that was for more than you and me. So thanks for uh, asking your question. All right. So many blessings to you. And we'll continue moving down the list here. Sorry, I get easily distracted sometimes. And it's starting to snow too. So I'm going to get extra giddy here in a moment. But I'm going to take a quick sip here of my coffee. All right. So up next, we got Magician. So reading for next week, please. All right, let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know about next week? All right. I love it when you get yourself. Magician. You got the magician. And this is great because I feel like you have this wonderful, you're putting your magic into play here with the 5 of Swords. you can see how this uh, thoughts and beliefs are giving you a headache. It's right there in your ear. And I like this transformation, this change that you're making here, and then this, like you're initiating this change of thought and belief and mindset. And I feel like for next week you have some important important decisions, but important communication going on between you and at least one other person, if not more, because it does feel like next week is this time of, 5 is the number of change, but it is about a change in how you communicate, and that you are the one initiating, like, normally a conversation would head this direction. They would pull their regular little shenanigans of, you know, picking a fight, and you would accept the invitation. Let's battle on guard. Baba, defend, and you'd start this sword fight with them, or they would start a sword fight with you, and you would engage. But I feel like you change next week. I feel like you take some different perspectives because you're realizing, wow, what I'm really feeling is that they do this to avoid really getting to some truths about some fears they have. And so what they do is they pick a fight to avoid conversations that need to happen, if that makes sense. So they will, start this battle. And then by the time the battle's over, they've distracted you efficiently to where things have ended and they've gone off. And you're like, wait, I wanted to talk about this. But so I feel like it's important for you not to engage in the battles this week, and that it brings in very clear communication and brings in a lot of clarity for you. So hopefully that makes sense. But that's what's coming through for you for next week, Magician. So many blessings to you. Right. We'll continue moving down the list here. All right. So Kritika Malhotra. Hey, I am doing very well. I hope you are doing well. And so you just won't, not can't, you won't forget Arnav even after so long. He's like he likes your Instagram stories every now and then you start thinking he likes you. Are there any chances for you guys now, or is it just you? All right, so let's take a look here, see, based on current energies, has anything changed? And what Spirit wants you to know here. All right. Yeah, it is in your mind. It's wishful thinking. You've got this, the Ace of Swords is telling me this is the mind, of course, the staircase of the mind that's just been kind of looping. You have the Ten of Pentacles that's coming in, which is your hope and dream of having this full life and these thoughts and beliefs around, you know, family and abundance and all of that that's coming in there. But the Five of Pentacles is what is at the root of all of this, which is the transformation of our worth. These fears of being abandoned, being left alone, not being chosen, these feelings of lack that go way back to our childhood. And the reason why, it's like Spirit is saying, the reason why you can't forget them, that you get your hopes up, is because you were looking for validation of your worth in the outside world, and specifically through relationship, and specifically they became like the poster child for relationship and dreams come true and validation of worth, right? And so that's why they're like, you're really focused in on them, is like, oh my gosh, they are the one for me. They will show me that I'm worthy, and they will love me, and we'll live happily ever after and have this legacy of family and everything else, right? And that's what we're taught. So don't beat yourself up about it. Be gentle with yourself about it. We all, will choose. And if we don't choose one individual, we'll choose a type or a characteristic of someone and keep looking for them. And in my case, I ended up with like the same person 5 times in a different body, until I realized they were showing me what I wanted to see about myself, and until I saw it, right? And so they're acting as a mirror for you, like what is drawing you to them, and then you look at, okay, what am I wanting to know about myself? What am I wanting to see about myself? And they also say, like, when we have a crush, when we have a desire for someone, once we get to know our crush and really understand them, we start to lose our crush. That's what, like I said, the best cure to for a crush or an interest is to get to know them, and then we're like, oh, they don't meet up to the big internal hoopla that we are saying, oh, this is who they are. No, they're not. You know, because what we're truly looking for is inside of ourselves anyway. And until we look inward, we're just going to look outward and find disappointment and things falling short until we find the love inside. Then we fill up and overflow, and then everything on the outside world is above and beyond extra. But we've got to find inside of us first. So I don't feel like that. I feel like they are, again, the poster child for this relationship that you're defining yourself by and looking for the validation of your worth in. But instead of looking for your self worth and cheating on yourself by looking outside of yourself, you turn inward and upward and find your self worth, your self love. And then it doesn't mean we stop wanting and love from the outside world or things from the outside world. We just stop needing them. We stop like obsessing with them, right? And then they become above and beyond extra, and we can take it or leave it. It's just above and beyond extra. So hopefully that helps, Kritika. That's what they have for you right now. So many blessings to you. All right, and we'll continue moving down the list here. So we got Magana. You are up next. And you want to know what you don't see coming in the near future. Oh, look out. Let's take a look here. So, what does Spirit want you to know about something that you're not really super clear aware of, that you don't see coming in the near future? And I don't know, you're pretty aware. So, I feel like that's what they wanted you to know, is that, you, you'll, I feel like you know it's coming here, because you've got the Wish Upon a Star and the King of Cups. And even on the bottom of the deck, you've got the Two of Cups with Ace of Wands. So I feel like there's a new passion, a new love interest that's coming your way. And what I feel like you don't see coming in the near future is that it's someone that's like a dream come true for you. And a lot of this is that you've been looking at, what does a dream come true look like, And I like the combo of all this coming together, because it's almost like you've given up on, like, well, I'm never going to find someone that's like, that can give me everything that I want. And it's true, um before, but I feel like you've been really focusing in on your inner love and your inner worth. And because of that, that's what it makes it now possible for someone to feel like a dream come true. Because as we were just talking about, when we're looking for our fulfillment on the outside world and looking for our dream love in the outside world, that's when it becomes instead of a dream come true, it's a nightmare come true, because they can't give us what we're looking for. The person we've been looking for is inside of us. It's us. The love we're looking for is the unconditional eternal love that we're so hungry for, that we knew back on the other side. We came down here to experience its opposite. We're hungry to get back to that, because that's what fulfills our heart and our soul. So once we connect back with that, then someone comes into our life and reflects back to us this unconditional love in a way that they couldn't before, because we couldn't see it in ourselves. And we can't give or receive something unless we have it for ourselves first. And so this unconditional love, and like, wow, this self-love that you've been really focusing on and increasing, this is what brings someone, you're like, whoa, it is possible. And it's like, well, it's possible now because of what you have been doing and what you're continuing to do with raising your own love vibration, and you're seeing that from the outside world. You're like, wow, I don't need them. And I'm full already. They're giving me third dessert and fourth dessert and fifth dessert and sixth dessert. I already got my 10-course meal on my inside with 2 desserts. So I'm already full and overflowing. And then I meet someone and you're just like, wow, you are like a dream come true. And it's because you found your dream inside and they're just adding on top of it. So I like this for you. I feel like this is why you don't see it coming, is because you've kind of been like, meh, you know, I don't know if I could ever find that on the outside world, but you've been looking and finding it on the inside, which is changing your outside world, if that makes sense. So that's what's coming in for you, Magana. I like it. Surprise. All right. So many blessings to you. And we'll continue moving down the list here. All right. So Die Baby 777, you are up and you like an energy reading. So let's see here. What does Spirit want you to know about the energy in your life right now? Okay. Boom, boom. I'm flying out here. All right. So you've got the Four of Swords, which is like mental stability and cutting away a lot of fears. I like the resting. The Seven of Pentacles, too, is about the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. And the combination of this feels very calm, very gentle, very at peace with just going with the flow, allowing yourself to rest, putting your mind to rest, trusting that things are going to unfold perfectly. And really you can see here with the Four of Swords, the little 3 prickly swords that, or the, prongs that are sticking out in the nest, they're all comforted with a heart that's in there. And I like this. I like this energy that you have with this combination of, again, it comes back to trust, going, you know what? I know everything is going to unfold for me. It's that kind of, with the Four of Swords, this mentality, the cutting away of the fears of that. If something, we're taught a lot of these small t truths, right? Rooted in fear. If that doesn't happen, it means you're a failure. If that happens, it means you're unlovable. If that doesn't happen, that means you're good for nothing. We have all those that were taught growing up. But that Four of Swords is the one that they're normally sleeping on. The original card shows 3 swords on the wall, someone sleeping on the 4th sword. And that's because they've connected to the higher truths that are rooted in unconditional love, seeing things from a higher perspective, transforming these old fears, going, no, when that happens, that doesn't mean anything about me. When that happens, it doesn't mean anything about me. When that doesn't happen, nothing about me. In a negative way, I can look at it as that it's happening for me on purpose. And so we move from this victimhood of that, oh, this is happening to me, and victim, which we come down here to experience. And when we're done with that, that's when this transformation happens. And then we have the, okay, this is, why did I want that to happen for me? So we're taking responsibility for things in our life. It's not out of control. People are doing it to me. No, I asked for this. I ordered it off of the spiritual Amazon. Why did I want this? And how am I going to transform this and use it for higher knowledge and higher wisdom? So I love this, and that the Seven of Pentacles is about, this beautiful unfolding of things in your life, and trusting the fruit will be at the end of the process, but enjoying as the seedling busts out of the seed and starts growing through the dirt, hitting and celebrating when it moves above the ground, and as it builds up into a big plant, and then a trunk, and then a big tree with branches, and then it gets leaves, and then it gets blossoms, and then fruit appears. It's enjoying every step along the way, and that it's not so much about an outcome and getting to the end of something as it is enjoying the journey and the process. So I like that for you, and that is what is coming in for you right now. So many blessings to you. And let me just take a look here. I do invite a donation. Come in here. All right. So Kritika Sayani, you'll be up next for the next free reading, but I do have a donation. Thank you so much, Maria, for your donation on the PayPal. And let me just see here. All right. So thank you for that donation. And you want to know about your connection with the D-Man and and if he's the one that was coming in. All right, let's take a look here and see what we got going on here. So let's see. All right. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. So the first card coming out is the Tower card. So I feel like, the Tower is about someone or something being moved out of our life to make space for someone new or something new to come into our life, clearing the pathway to bring things forward, right? So let's take a look. Well, we got more cards. So, we're looking here going, are they the one, or are they the one that's going to be removed to make space for the new? And I feel like it's the latter here. I mean, the energy on the bottom of the deck we have is the Two of Swords, which is closing our eyes and opening our hearts and choice, right? The choice that's coming up. You have the King of Wands and the Two of Cups, which does show me here you've got other cards here that tell me that they're not the one that's coming in. There's someone that will be like, moved out of the way here eventually, because the person that's coming in here, it feels like, very much someone empowered, a fire sign, if, coming in here. Someone who's very much like emperor energy, where they're the ones that rule over all the kings. But it's very, very strong entrepreneur, just, king of the jungle kind of energy, where they're just very like, wow. But in a beautiful way, because we've got the, when I was, we're asking, are they the one? Well, we got the Hanged Man and the Temperance card, which is patience, timing, delay, things transforming. So this is much about a waiting and this, current circumstances are not, because things are going to be transforming and changing and moving down in your life there. And you do have Page of Cups, which new love, that's coming, in the future here. So I don't feel like David is the one. I feel like, when you're asking, the one that's coming in is someone new, someone different, but I don't feel like it's this one. I just don't, as far as the connection with them, I don't feel like, it goes deeper here. Let's just find out what we've got here. Yeah. So the King of Wands who comes your way, but I feel like the connection that's there, again, here's this fiery energy coming in, but the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands, I usually compare the difference between the two of these as like, this is a king who can control their passions, knows when to act on them, and does it respectfully. And the Knight of Wands is like in the movies when you see like a prince who's out in those houses of ill repute, they're out like a little chihuahua humping everyone's legs. The King of Wands, it feels like that kind of passion and just like attraction, but that's what it is. I feel like the connection that's there is more physical attraction. Yeah, so that feels like it's more that kind of like, hey, and it's not like they have the capacity to give emotionally. So, there could be some energetic and physical attraction there, but they're not the one coming in. There's someone else that's more heightened, more mature in their passions and um, respectful with all of that. It just feels very, like I said, it feels like an emperor rather than a little prince who's, hey, baby, it's like, oh my God. So that's what's coming in. You're like, I get it. You get it. All right. All right. But I like who's coming in for you, though. Very passionate individual, um, but someone who's more in charge, if that makes sense. All right. So, again, thank you so much for your donation, Maria. Enjoy your adventure. All right. Then, like I said, we had left off with Kritika Sayani. So, Kritika, you want to know, will you get a placement job in Grindwell, Norton, India? Excuse me, a private LTD company from your college. All right, let's take a look here. See, excuse me, based on current energy. Will you get one? All right. So you've got the Page of Wands and the Two of Cups. And, this combination here is telling me that this you won't, but it's because it's not what your soul wants. You got the Page of Wands, which is this energy of sorry, I was trying to get it to focus there, which is this energy of a new passion, a new, solution, a new direction. And the Two of Cups coming in here too shows me that's more like a connection with your higher self, with your higher heart. And I feel like they're going to take you in a different direction, something that's more in alignment with where your heart really wants to go. I feel like this placement job is with the mind of going, well, this is like the process. This is how it's supposed to go. Blah, 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 boring. And your heart's like, I want to go do this. I want to go do this. I want to go do this. And I feel like your heart really is kind of stepping up and kind of almost having like a overthrowing your brain and going, I know that all makes sense, but this is what will bring me joy and make my heart sing. I want to go that direction. So follow your heart, not the supposed to's. For your energy, that's where I feel based on your current energy, what you're going to end up doing. Um, so I feel like the energy that's within you is putting a block up for that happening, to going into that placement job. I feel like there's something more that your heart is wanting. So, and that's what the energy draws into you rather than that experience. So that is what they have there for you. So many blessings. All right, Maria. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. You got it. All right. Oops, sorry, that's my stomach growling there. Sorry, you guys. Don't worry. Sometimes you wake up and you're not hungry, and so you don't eat breakfast. And then your stomach starts to go, hey, I'm hungry though. All right. And then Johanna Urison, hello, hello. You are up next. And you want to know anything Spirit has regarding the person from your workplace. All right, let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know about this person from your workplace right now? All right. And you've got the Three of Pentacles, which is this looks like your spiritual gang and spiritual posse is really zeroing in here. See, trying to get it to focus. But the Three of Pentacles is this energy of being true to your authentic self. It's more being drawn to yourself. And even with this Page of Swords coming in here, there's this energy of um, I don't know, heightened knowledge, seeing things from a clearer perspective, a lot of clarity coming in. And it's it feels like this individual, at work is really a huge mirror going on right now. And it's to point you back to the things that you really like about yourself and to have clarity come in around all of that. And I know it's an interesting reading to come in like that, but it just feels like it's so much of a that there's not a lot meant to happen between the two of you, but that they really are reflecting back to you and so that you can see things within yourself. And it's both in things that you positively like about yourself because you can't see something in someone else that's not in you. So when you think someone's like amazing at something or like they could give me this, they could give me that, it's you saying, I could give myself this, I could give myself that, or wow, they're amazing. I'm amazing. And how am I amazing? I'm recognizing my amazingness. It may not be in the same exact same way, but it's usually similar in some way. And then also things that irritate us in someone else means that that also exists inside of us. So I feel like right now, what's going on here is spirit is pointing you back to you. It's a time for you to have some realizations about who you are truly, your authentic self, and this higher knowledge. You're seeing things from a different perspective and you're like, oh, this mirror is for me. It's allowing me to see the fears I have, these lower vibrational beliefs I have, and that you're able to transform them into something higher knowledge, higher wisdom to see yourself more clearly. So I feel like that's what they're having, um, going on there for you right now, Johanna. So that is what they have. So many blessings to you. All righty. All right. And then Shirley Mador, you'll be by next. Free reading coming up, but I do have a donation coming in from Carolyn. Thank you so much for your donation on Z PayPal. And let me see here. Did you ask your question up above? Let's take a look here. If not, I don't think I saw it on your on the donation. So pop your question down below, and we will bring that up here. Let me just look at the email one more time. Yeah, I don't see one on there. So as soon as you pop that down below, we will go to your question here. Just for the sake of time while I'm waiting, I will jump up and complete Shirley Mador's free reading. So you lost your keys. Oh no, are they in a jacket or in your room? You had them last night to drive home last night. Now they're nowhere to be found. All right, let's take a look here. You lost your keys. Are they in your jacket, in your room, or what else? Yeah, you've got the wheel of fortune here, and that was the in your jacket. Are they in your jacket in your room? Because you got the Queen of Pentacles too about being in your room here. So I feel like they are. Um, I don't know. I do feel here with the jacket, and I feel like they're in your jacket, but I feel like you put them somewhere different because I don't know with the self-nurturing, the mother nature, mother nurture, they're like, "It happened." Um, it's like when because you had to get into your house with the key, right? Um, but I feel like the wheel, I almost if you didn't need your key to get into the house, I feel like you left them in your car, like they fell out of your pocket into your car. But if you needed them to get into your house, I feel like they've fallen out or you put them in a place that you normally don't, if that makes sense. So um, that's what's coming in for me for that question there, Shirley. So I feel like with both of those, you will find it. They're both abundance cards, so you'll find your keys um, very quickly there. So that is what they have for you. All right. And so, Carolyn, you want to know the man that you're currently with? Man you're currently with that is. All right. Oh, so up here. Sorry, I just see it up here. So you wanted to know, is the man you you're with, do they love you and gonna take your seat anytime soon? Okay. So the man you're currently with. Okay, very good. So let's take a look here and see what spirit wants you to know about this man. Is he going to take you seriously anytime soon? What are you gonna do, Carolyn? What are you gonna do? Let's take a look here. And does he love you? And what does spirit want you to know around this all here? Okay. All right. You know, Carolyn, I feel here. I mean, the energy on the bottom of the deck is tells us a lot, and so we're going to start with that, um, and then we'll look at the cards that came out too, because they're kind of both. Um, I mean, they tell a lot of the same story here. Because you've got the Eight of Cups, which does talk about you walking away from emotions that no longer serve you and someone that no longer serves. So I feel like, the energy is that they do have love for you, but the thing is that it has not a lot to do with you about the amount of love that they're able to give. Because a big thing that I feel just kind of changes your whole perspective in this relationship with them is that they are, we can only give to others what we have within ourselves, right? So if I have self love, I can give love. But if I have very little self love, I can't give a whole lot of love. And so I feel like they're giving what they're capable of at this time in their life. And I don't feel like they're doing a whole lot of inner work to open that self love. Like you've been working on your shadow, your self love, trying to raise, get rid of thoughts and beliefs that don't serve you. I feel like you've been on this journey and you put this attention on those things in your life, and you're able to give more love and receive more love than you ever have in your life. But they are still like bloop, and no matter how much love they want to give, it just drips out. And no matter how much love you give them, it just drips in. And so that's like, no matter how much water you want to give a plant, if it's just dripping in, the plant dies, right? And that's kind of what they're showing me, in the head there, is that they love you enough. I mean, they love you, but only very little, because that's the amount of love they have for themselves. And that's where we have here. I mean, you've got the moon card, which is there's a lot of emotion, a lot of unseen below the surface that's going on here. And we also, along with that Eight of Cups, you have this Eight of Swords. So there is this, energy of movement of thought and belief and movement away from this. Because when you're walking away, and I feel like you will walk away from this interaction with them, this person, what they're walking away from is to the Nine of Cups, which this is what you're headed towards, which is emotional wish fulfillment and joy overflowing. There's just a lot of change that's happening here. I mean, you have the Justice card, so there's this balancing and reflection that's going on about your own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. But you've got the Ace of Cups and the Page of Pentacles, which does show me that as you're connecting more to your higher love and you're with that Justice card, cutting away thoughts and beliefs and mindsets you've had about your worth, and things that you've had fears in your life, beliefs that are tied to fears. The Justice card is you doing this balancing, and it does bring in new love. You have the page of I'm sorry, the Ace of Cups, which is new love, and then the page of Pentacles, which is new opportunities opening up in the outside world. And so we've got all that energy going on here, and it just gets confirmed here with the Magician card that you end up not being willing to wait around, and you do have this energy of stepping forward and putting action into your world. You've got the King of Swords, which rolls. Here's that Ace of Swords that was on the Justice card here, which is the here it is. This Ace of Swords here, which is what we use to connect to the higher ways of looking at things, and the removal of these thoughts and these beliefs and these mindsets that don't serve you anymore. And this is again reinforced with the cards of the Ten of Swords, which is tired of trying to please everyone and doing all of those things that we fear, right? All those small t truths rooted in supposed to be's and should be's and need to be's and have to be's and must be's that are creating all of this emotional confusion, emotional and mental. I mean, if you look at this Ten of Swords, these are all our thoughts and beliefs that are almost like attacking us, right? But I love this because the 10 is letting go of all these thoughts and beliefs. And look what a much more peaceful journey it is when we're letting go of all those thoughts and beliefs. I'm sorry. See if I can get it to focus in a little there. But it reminds me of that Eight of Cups, which is, all of this walking away from emotions and thoughts that don't serve anymore, right? So, realizing that they don't have the capacity to love you like you want to be loved, because they don't love themselves that much. You've got the Judgment card, your higher self calling you to this higher place. And the Eight of Pentacles coming in here too, which is you putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears into yourself in your life. And what that means, it just really reiterates that you have been, you're a caterpillar that goes into a cocoon, you're working on yourself, you're becoming a butterfly. But they're not, they're just staying a caterpillar, eating more and more leaves, becoming a big old giant fat caterpillar, but they're not becoming a butterfly. And then you're evolving, you're changing, you are transforming into this butterfly. And when you step out of the cocoon and you are this butterfly and there's still this giant caterpillar, you're like, well, I'm not going to carry you. It's actually one of the emoticons that I have here for my YouTube channel members, which let me share this really quick here. Just let me see, where am I at here? Okay, Scorpio is who we left off with here. But there's this, butterfly here carrying a caterpillar, and that never really happens, in the real life of the outside world. A caterpillar knows, I mean, a butterfly knows, it's like it doesn't even carry its cocoon. It's like it leaves all the stuff behind that doesn't serve it anymore, and it's no longer longs to eat leaves. It wants nectar. It needs to fly. It can go great distances. And that's why I feel like, this individual, that they don't have the capacity to bring to you what you need. And so that's why I feel like you will fly away, and then you're going to head off into a different direction than you currently are with it. So yeah, there's love there, but it's this much because that's all they can give you. Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like you're realizing it. You're like, all right, bye. I'm flying off. I'm a butterfly. I got so many butterfly things to do. I don't want to do caterpillar things anymore. So yeah, and I don't feel like they will do a lot of their inner work for a while because they're all I feel like they're consumed in their outside world, right? Not about doing inner reflection or any self-help, you know, they're all about reaction, 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 where you've been changing. You're a beautiful butterfly. It's time for you to fly. So yeah. Yep, and he'll continue his pattern of going through a lot of things. It's just he has very low belief in his worth. So he can't give that, right? There's this great meme which I um feel like it's great to hear because it's like between our eyes, right? Let me see here. It says sometimes people can't reciprocate because they can't give you what they can't give themselves. Those who are at war with themselves can't give you peace. Those who betray themselves can't give you loyalty. Those who lie to themselves can't give you honesty. See them as they are, not who we wish them to be. And it's like, wow, right? Between the eyes. It's like, I get it. Yeah, you know. Um, so I feel like this is why you are able to walk away and go, I'm not going to invest energy, no more mental and emotional energy. I'm going to learn, what did I learn through this about myself? And I'm going to go and do butterfly things. So I like that for you, Carolyn. So hang in there, my dear. And thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah. I get it. I used to fall in love with what I could see the capabilities and possibilities of someone, but that's what I like, see people for who they are and who they're showing you, not who they could be. Because it doesn't mean they're going to be that. This is who they are, and they could never ever change and go, yeah, that's okay. I'm going to change where I'm investing my emotional energy and more towards what I want to do. So you're very welcome. Hang in there, my dear. Fly, butterfly, fly. All right. All right. I think it was it for the donations right now. You're very welcome. And Scorpio 1180, you are up. So you want to ask if Robert, let's see here. Okay. So let's take a look here. All right. Let's see what's going on Robert here. Yeah. I feel like here with got the Three of Swords, which is, you know, expectations equal disappointment. And the Ten of Swords is about walking away from the pleasing, the people pleasing, all this pressure of I need to be this in order, to receive this. And it just feels like it's time just to let it go. And you know the the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords brings you such a great lesson, and this is for everyone, because the Three of Swords is a great card that talks about, you're talking about feeling hurt and heartbreak, those types of things. The Three of Swords is a great aha, which for me it was like a what, because I had a lot of what I felt was heartbreak and a lot of disappointment in my life, and then Spirit told me, well, your heart can't be broken. And I'm like, what? Well, then explain these feelings, right? And they were like, okay, let's talk about all of these expectations you have on the world. And I'm like, okay. They're like, expectations equal disappointment. And the Ten of Swords tells us that, we're all given tons of small t truths, a lot of expectations, right? Rooted in fear. This has to happen, or this means you're unlovable. This happens, or or this means you're unacceptable, rejectable, not good enough. We have all this stuff formed in our life growing up, long list of things that has to happen in order for us to feel acceptable and lovable. Those are the small teachers and the lies, because spirit says your heart is so powerful. Your true heart is so powerful. Nothing can break it. Nothing can destroy it. We are so eternally and unconditionally loved that we could never be unloved. We just come down here in this physical realm to experience what it might feel like to feel these things. But then spirit said, I go, well, then what's this prick in my heart? That like the song, the first cut is the deepest, when my heart was first where I felt it was broken. Well, what was this sword I felt? Now, usually the three of uh, um, swords has like three swords stuck in the heart, which is what it feels like, right? And they told me, well, that's your heart going into fight or flight mode out of fear. I was like, what? And they go, well, think about it. Like when your brother used to scare the crap out of you, my older brother, we'd take turns scaring each other, in different times. And so when, you're like, and you have that prick in your heart, that is heartbreak. That's what we feel. Our heart is breaking. But then you realize it's your, stupid brother, and we're both stupid to each other. And then you calm down. That piercing in our heart of being scared goes away. But emotional monsters, emotional fear, we don't solve it right away. We don't realize normally, oh, it's because I fear won't be lovable. That's why when someone's action, they do something, I'm like, I have this belief, all these beliefs in my head that all this means I'm unlovable. I fear, and it keeps looping it. But we're not in heartbreak 100% of the day, right? We get distracted. We get into our work. We go to this. We're blah, blah, blah. We get distracted, and that pain goes away until we remember whatever event scared us, and we have this fear of being unlovable. It starts back up again, and we loop it until we go to sleep. And then it stops because we're not thinking about it. We're thinking about other things till we remember, right? But what happens with this beautiful experience here is that, you're able to see the, the pain in your heart is yours, not theirs. People don't do things to us. People simply do things. Things simply happen in the world, but these thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that we have in our head tell us this is supposed to hurt. And then our emotions go, oh, that's right, I'm supposed to be scared, or it makes us fear. It's you're unlovable. What? But when we face these things and realize, truly, does that really mean anything about me? Why do I believe that? When we transform these triggers, these fearful thoughts that are rooted in fear, conditional love of this world, when we start stepping into our power, we realize that we don't have to feel this fear anymore. We don't have to feel this hurt. And we're like, okay, I'm choosing to be hurt. And I know when I first said that, it pissed me off because I had a lot of hurt and a lot of pain. And I'm like, wait, you're saying this is me? I'm choosing this? And they're like, well, you believe certain things, you had no choice to feel a certain way, but now you can choose to feel different. And I'm like, okay, I can work with that because one, it means I'm in charge of my emotions. And that's where I want my power, not to be at the whim of the outside world. And so there's this empowerment that comes in with this between the two of you. And I feel like, spirit is telling you that, this hurt and this pain is yours. And if you can own it, then you release them from their prison. You can be friends. But if you're blaming them and pointing them, that's just going to push them in the opposite direction, because who wants to have a finger pointed at them saying, you are the one causing me my pain, Scorpio. And it's like, oh yeah, no one likes that, especially when three fingers are pointing back at me. It's, oh, I am the one. Um, So I love this for you. I feel like it's a huge transformational awareness that comes in, that my feelings happen inside of me, not out here. My thoughts happen inside here, not out there. My energy, I am in charge of, and I'm in charge of my actions. And other people's actions, words, thoughts, non actions, whatever, don't mean anything about me, but they are reflecting back to me what I want to see about myself till I see it. And if you don't deal with it with this individual, then you will just experience it with another friend, a family member, someone at work, or all of them, because they're showing us what we want to see about ourselves so that we can release ourselves from all of that fun experience. So hopefully that helps, Scorpio. I feel like that was for more than just you and me, but that's what they have. So many blessings to you. All right. Oh, and I'm so sorry, Dune. I went right over you, didn't I? My apologies. All right. So, Dune, thank you so much for your donation here. And let's give that some love and a like there. And you want to know, so you lost trust on people, and maybe they don't trust me. Will it be better? All right. Well, that's great awareness, because if we don't trust ourselves, then then we will see mistrust. We won't trust others, and we'll see others not trusting us. But it really comes into trusting ourselves, right? But let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know here? Will this get better? And what else do they want you to know here about the trust? All right. Well, we've got 2, 2, and 2. All right. Yeah, it does get better. So we'll start off with that. And this is how. So we've got the Justice card. You can see that beautiful mirroring that's going on there, of course. And the Five of Cups is transformation of our emotions. That comes in here as well. So, we've got this, you know, when we, that justice, it's all about our thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, right? We have a lot of information stored in our brain throughout our lives about what we're supposed to do. How are people supposed to be? How are they supposed to do this? How are they supposed to do that? And of course, how much of expectations do people meet in our lives? you know, well, no one will ever completely meet up to all of our expectations, right? And the entire world at one time will not meet up to one of our expectations. So it tells us, um, you know, that we're expecting all this stuff from the outside world, and they're going to let us down. And people expect a lot of things from us, and by golly, we're going to let them down because when humans when our little inner child feels unsafe or out of control, as we talk about, right? We go out of our brains, we kick out the intelligent, compassionate, loving side of us. And then there's that 2-year old with its pet hissing cat who's in charge. And what do? They do stupid, unloving, uncompassionate things because they're going to do whatever they feel they need to do to feel in control and safe again. And then they do something stupid, and then we get fearful, and then we start doing stupid, unloving, uncompassionate things, right? And so, when we're looking at each other and we're like, well, they're not doing what I think they should do, and like, they're not doing what I think they should do. Two little 2-year olds who are fighting, right? And that's when, we mistrust other people because they're letting us down. People mistrust us because we're letting them down. And we don't even know it because we have our big, long list of expectations, which does not match anyone else's 100%. Everyone has different rules, different expectations that are happening. We're all letting each other down until we step out and we, step up to unconditional love. And then that's when we start seeing things in a different way. That's what the justice card is all about here. It's about seeing things from that higher perspective. And when we realize that humans cannot be trusted, that's when people are like, "What?" I'm like, "It's true." Soon as a human goes into fight or flight mode, all bets are off. They're going to go into survival mode. It's like, can I trust this best friend of mine? Yeah. You're out canoeing and they can't swim. They fall overboard and they start to like um, drown, and they're starting to panic, and you're like, "Oh my God, I can't." They're like, "Here, let me help them." They pull you in, and then their arms are flying. They smack you upside your head, and then they grab onto you and they pull you underwater, and you're like, "Oh my God, they're trying to murder me." And you realize when someone's panicking, when a human's in fear, they can't be trusted because they're a little 2-year-old with their pet hissing cat. Their pet hissing cat's telling them what to do, and the little 2-year-old's going, "Yeah, that sounds great." And so, you know, what where we start with all this is, we have the Ace of Swords. We and that's the Ace of Swords that's here too. We start to connect higher. The only the only beings we can truly trust are those that are eternal and unconditional love and don't go into fear, which is the spirit world. And so when you start to go, okay, I can only trust the spirit world, then you start questioning, what do I trust in the outside world and why do I feel I need to? We have the Four of Pentacles here, which the Four of Pentacles is when we look for our worth in the outside world, we feel unstable because all of that's unstable. The three places we're told to look for our stability are people, like relationships, situations, and things. But people change, people pass away, people walk away, people go into fear and become stupid, right? And we too, we have to admit, I get stupid when I get into fear. I have stupid thoughts. Um, Situations never stay the same. They're always changing: jobs, education, social status, all of that, and things. Our bodies, our bank accounts, possessions break down, blow up, burn down, stolen, deteriorate. And so we eventually turn inward and upward to find, what we need and who we can trust. And here again, the star. We have this umbilical cord that goes to the heavens, our higher self, Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. We become, the person that we can trust. And then I don't need to trust anyone else. And, it's like, we start to ask ourselves, what am I trusting other people with, right? Um, and what am I we start asking ourselves those expectations. What am I expecting of someone else, and why am I cheating on myself with the outside world? you know that's the Four of Pentacles. Is I find when I'm feel instability enough in the outside world, I turn inward and upward, find this whole host of endless beings of unconditional love and light, and I go, you I can trust. And then you start to trust yourself, your higher self. And then what do you need to trust the outside world with? And that's the big question. Is I can't. I don't need to. So I just start loving the world as it is and not feeling the need to trust or expect anything of them. And then I can celebrate everything everyone does instead of focusing on how everyone is failing me. Because what kind of world is that when all we're focusing in on is how everyone's not meeting up to my expectations? Instead, you know, and in fact, one of my relationships, I got so upset because they were not helping clean, they're not helping do everything. I had this long list of expectations of who they were supposed to be and do. And they were like, hey, you have this great big expectation of how everything should look perfect all the time, which I inherited from my parents. And they're like, but I'm not that way. If you want that so much, you do it. But blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, whoa. And that is this aha that comes in, right? Where I can't, look to others. I can if I want to be disappointed. If I want to trust others, be prepared to be disappointed with it. Trust them with things that you don't care if it happens or not, you know. But for the things that are important in your life, you trust yourself and the creator, and then you let everyone off the hook. And what a beautiful life you start to live because you have gratitude for everything that everyone's doing. Because if you have zero to no expectations, everything everyone does you're grateful for because it's above and beyond. But if you have these large expectations, usually we're focusing on lack in our lives instead. Yeah. And it's like we don't have to be lonely, we can be alone and not be lonely, but we can also, when we're depending on ourselves, we can still have people around us. We just don't depend on them for anything, and we just are appreciative for anything that they do give. In fact, we fill up so much, we're usually giving and we don't need. And when people do, we're like, "Hey, thank you. I so appreciate you." So it is definitely a transformation that happens, a change that happens with all of that. So hopefully that helps, Dune. And we had the star card and the Queen of Pentacles at the end. Was it gets better because you're finding this connection to your higher self. You're finding this wholeness and completeness within you. You're nurturing yourself. You're not expecting other people to. And then you fill up and you have all this nurturing that flows out to the world. And that changes everything instead of, pointing, having this energy of everyone falling short. That's the energy that comes back to us too. So hopefully that helps there. And thank you again for your donation. Hey, love 1234. I do see that you donated here, but I am running out of time here. So I will return, of course. And let me just screenshot this. So you will be up first when I return. I'm going to be heading off to go to my Praying Mantis member session. And oh, hey Dajona, did you do it on the Cash App? Probably. Cash App has been so spotty with them not sending um the yeah, I see it now. So Dajona, you will be up as well. So you two will be the first that I will complete when I come back after my praying mantis session and after I eat. So it'll be a couple hours, but I'll come back and complete all the free readings. But love 1234 and Dajona, you will be up first, and then we'll complete the other ones. So let me take some screenshots really quick here. So great quartz, we had left off with you for the free readings. And let me just grab some screenshots, like I said. And when I come back, I will complete them in order. And then I will also, sorry, just making sure I'm not skipping anyone here. All right, here we go. I will put a pinned comment listing the order in which the readings were completed so that you can see the find your reading easier. See, I can do two things at the same time very poorly. So sorry about that. So I did take screenshots of all that, and then I will be back later. So in the meantime, if you're wanting some additional um, information, if you haven't checked out the 2024 energy forecast, here's the playlist for each individual zodiac sign. And then also we have the winter summer solstice readings, which are good all the way up until March 19th. So still good for another month. Um, and then, of course, we've got a ton of other content. If you check my description box of my video, it'll have all the playlists. Like we had a pilgrimage meditation to Mount Shasta. I also have love readings and financial readings, all those not timestamps, but links are in the description box of the video, or if you go to my main page, you'll see a ton of those there as well. So that's what we have for now, but I'm headed off. So I shall see you guys in a while. Thank you again for all the thumbs up. It helps spread the Zen love. And remember, every second of every day of your life that you truly are unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things, our creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you guys again, much love to you. Hang in there, and we'll see you soon.